This here used to be Lillian Baylis Old School. It was a disused school. It's now been redeveloped for housing, but back in sort of 2005, before we were formally formed, we used to have one of the old sports halls. There used to be a boxing gym there, leaky roof and bucket in the middle, and that was our first foundations. But I think, as some of the young people have said, there used to be loads of kids that used to turn up just to participate. So we knew we were doing something right, and we just needed to sort of develop it from there. I think when people set up a charity, they don't realise the complexity of it and the regulation that's behind it as well. So I think the biggest challenge was to get all the policies in place, to get the funding in place, but then it was really around what was the real need, what was the real want, and what did we need to deliver. Because I think you have to deliver what you say you're going to deliver to build up that trust within the communities that you're working with. And that is so important amongst anything else. It was fun growing up. I've got a twin sister, identical, so we had a great time, my best friends. My dad, when I was younger though, used to be a bus driver. His journey from my childhood wasn't as easy as mine. He got stabbed one Christmas Eve when he was a bus driver on a night shift, when I think we were like 4 or 5 at the time. He left him paralysed, done one so safe, nearly died. And I remember being a teenager and wanting to go to under 18 raves, and he always used to tell me to learn some form of martial art or discipline. He didn't want me going to them, basically. He then convinced me to try martial arts, but I really loved like the Muay Thai and the Thai boxing. So he really got me into that. And then later on in life, once I really got hooked to the Muay Thai, I was fortunate enough to win a world title at it. I say fortunate enough, I put in the hard work to do it. But it was then that I realised how important that gym setup is, how important those coaches were, how much that changed and scoped my life going forward. And when you're at that point where you realise the effect that something's had on you, you then want to project that onto other people. You want that feeling to then really kind of go forward and for other people to get them same opportunities. I think to start with, I remember just working with some kids from a pupil referral unit, and I went back and I spoke to my dad, and I kind of told him, I've been working with these kids and this is the situation, and I think we're having a real impact on them. And at that time it was just with a voluntary organisation that we were sort of working with. And I remember him saying if only something like that had existed when we were younger, maybe what happened to him wouldn't have happened, because what happened to him was a bunch of drunk, high teenagers that one Christmas Eve decided to attack a bus driver because he'd come off the bus and told him to stop dinging the bell. And it was as simple as that. But if there had been something in place, if those kids had been mentored, we can never say for sure, can we? But I think that was the ethos behind it. And then for me, it was one of them moments that you just sit there and you think, right, in life, there's things you can do, but there's real impact that you can now have. And I love boxing and the Muay Thai, and for me, just really evolved me as a person. It gave me so much confidence, it empowered me. I just met people I would never have met in my life if I hadn't gone to the gyms and the places and I haven't competed. So I think you want to be able to give other people them opportunities, and what better way of doing that by setting up the charity, allowing us to bring like-minded people into the charity and deliver what we say we're going to deliver, but deliver what the communities want and what the young people need. I'm proud of being 15 years. I think we're a bit more than 15 years. I'm proud of the longevity that the charity's had. I'm proud when I see people that have been part of the programme and how successful they've been, because that gives me a bit of a pride, because the better they are, the more successful they are, the better jobs they have, the more regulated they are, I feel like the better job that we've done. It's not all been easy sailing, there's ups and downs, and not every person that comes to the programme is going to have that same success. But we keep pushing, and it's the understanding that every young person's journey is not linear. Like, there's going to be ups and downs, but I think for us it's the consistency, knowing that we're still here and we're still in that same place that young people can always come back to. I think in the last 15 years, I've noticed my stress levels go up more with running a charity. There's so much involved with it. I think not only when you grow the charity, it gets bigger, so there's more responsibility. You want to ensure that the impact's still there. But I think the most important thing is to see such the diversity in the young people that you're working with. I think for me, the thing that I've seen the most is understanding young people's behaviour, and part of that is because I've got a young child myself now who's 6, and he's autistic, so he's neurodiverse, and understanding that and his behaviour makes me understand that there's a reason for behaviours. So I think that the charity's evolved, and we've evolved so much that now all staff are trained within it, and we're understanding that there's a reason behind young people's behaviours, and that it's bigger than just that one moment, and there's ways to deal with it and ways to handle it. So I think in terms of over the last 15 years, it's the understanding of young people that I think has changed, and I think that's changed for the better, and I think it's evolved with us as a charity, and it's helped us make a bigger impact.